All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Soul Toucha the Poet, back with another one. If you don't know, I'm going to let you know that I just recently returned from Punta Cana on a veterans medical tour hosted by Veterans Care International, again in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Now, let's get into this. I don't even know where to start. I don't know the direction. I did not plan an outline, script, anything like that. I'm just going to go authentically and natively off my experience with this tour. I may miss out on some things. Again, I am going off script. This is totally unfiltered. Let me silence my phone right quick to limit the amount of interruptions that we have here. But anyway, so how did I find out about this? So I follow a couple of people on YouTube, Jamie Gruber, Cheryl Henderson, who is in charge of this program, and Abroad with Jay. And I think those are the only ones that I follow. But anyway, I came across Cheryl Henderson because Jamie Gruber did an interview with her on his channel, and they discussed this program for veterans. Now, um, it is a week tour, 7 days. You pay for your flight, round trip. That is a requirement for you to secure your position there, and bring a little money for little things that you may want or need to do. You don't need too much money. I guarantee you don't need too much money. The only other cost per se that you may need is a $200 incidental that they place on your debit or credit card, just in case the unlikelihood that you are an immature adult and, mess up the room or whatever the case may be. More than likely, that's not going to be an issue. So I just want to give you that up front of what to expect before going. A couple of other things that you will need. You will need your disability breakdown letter. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I am forgetting something. La, la, la. What am I forgetting? Anyway, one of the main things that you'll need is your disability breakdown letter. So make sure that you go ahead and get that. I had to, they say you can go on va.gov to get it, but I had to end up calling the VA to obtain my disability breakdown letter, and I got it within like 5 minutes of that call. The call didn't take too long. So that was that. So what do they do down here or down there? Whatever is in your disability breakdown letter, they will address those issues. Luckily for me, I have a tendonitis and arthritis issue in my left hand. It's not in my disability breakdown letter. I actually do not have a claim for this. It recently flared up this year, but they treated me. So shout out to them on that. Um, yeah, so I don't even, all right. So anyway, so again, they give medical tours. If you are living down there, they also go provide medical treatment, rehab. And again, I don't know if on that end, I just know on the medical tours end that they provide treatment for whatever is in your disability breakdown letter. I know I'm probably repeating myself and rambling on, but again, that's what happens when you're unscripted and just going off of the head. Now, again, it's a 7-day tour. So what you need to do is go to veteransinternational.com and read the information in detail so that you get a firm understanding of what is going on there. They have a weekly webinar every Tuesday. Again, you can sign up for that. Go to the website for all those details. I highly recommend that you do that. But the website has a wealth of information on there. So, once you get familiar with whatever's on the website, just go to Veterans Tours and they'll tell you more about the program. And on there is a registration form. So 2025 is fully booked. So by the time you're listening to this, don't even think about going this year. The next tour dates that I see on their website starts in February 3rd. Um, and they have dates all the way up to June 23rd as of right now. So if you're interested, go ahead, jump on the website, book your date, and knock that out. Just get that out the way. So I'm going back down there. So if I'm going back down there, then look, if you know me and you trust my judgment, then look, go ahead and do it. As a matter of fact, they have the webinar information on the website. If you go to Veterans Tour, scroll all the way to the bottom. You can join a weekly webinar. It's all that information is right there. So definitely, if you want more information other than what I'm giving you, because I'm probably missing something, go ahead and jump on that webinar and knock that out. Now, what I want to dive into is my experience down there. Again, everybody's experience is different. I'm not going to try to tell you what someone else's experience was. I'm just going to go off of my experience and what I got from it. My tour was December 16th to the 23rd. I got there. I left Baltimore on the 16th, early in the morning. And, I arrived probably around 2 something, whatever the case may be. It's not important what time I arrived there. But anyway, so day one, when you get there, you have hotel check-in and tour registration. That went very smooth. Now, make sure that, I don't even know if I want to tell you to make sure, but the first issue that I had was when I got there, my credit card, for whatever reason, was not taking. And it's like, what the hell is going on? I had a USAA credit card, and for whatever reason, it wasn't taken. So I had to call USAA and see what the hell was going on. And they told me maybe they entered something wrong, have them enter the credit card information again. Did that, went through, boom, no problem, everything cool. Sat around for a couple of minutes, just mingling with, the people that were there, got my room, took my stuff up to the room. The rooms are, fairly decent. This is not, for those of you who are bougie or whatever the case may be, this is not a 5-star hotel or thing like that. It's comfortable accommodations. Regular size, regular size room, a bathroom with a standing shower. So I don't know if they have bathtubs for those of you who cannot stand for long periods of time. I don't know that. There are air conditioner units in the hotel, in the rooms. The TV, you can have that TV, smart TVs that have YouTube, Netflix, and all that other stuff. Big closet that you can put all your stuff in. You shouldn't need much stuff. However, if you are a person that changes 2-3 times a day, the closets can accommodate your needs. That's clear. There's a little mini fridge. I did not use my mini fridge. It just wasn't working for me. However, if you have any issues with your room, you can let them know and they will address the issues right away. The one issue that I had, my ceiling fan was dusty. I let them know that. Ceiling fan was clean. Boom, not an issue. Now let's get back to day one. So day one, 5 o'clock, there's an orientation. It's finger food. It's complimentary and things of that nature. So you go around, introduce yourself. They do a little, what do you want to call it? Where you just meet somebody. Okay, so when you get there, you're already, like, when they pick you up from the airport, you're going to be on the shuttle bus with people, and you probably get to talking back and forth, whatever the case may be. So during the orientation and things like that, you're going to get to meet people that you did not already meet during the day since you've been there. Cool. Couple little games to get icebreaker. That's what I'll call it. Icebreaker. That's what it is. Nice little icebreaker. And, that's what you'll go for from there. After that, they'll give a little orientation about the program, what to expect, and things like that. You'll get your schedule for your appointments and the agenda for the week. They'll give you a little more information, safety briefing, heads up, and things of that nature, what to expect. Then there's dinner that is included. Now, let me back up just a little bit real quick. So dinner, well, meal, they provide 2 meals a day. I'm not going to speak on the meals too much further because the meals are great. I'll just put it that way. There were no issues of bad food, cold food, whatever the case may be. Every meal that they provided was adequate. I'll put it like this. The meals that they provided were equal to or better than meals provided at a regular hotel, like at a Hilton that includes breakfast or whatever the case may be. So I have no complaints of the food that they serve. The only thing is you may want something different from what they are providing. And you have that option if you so choose to. So that's where you'll probably need, a little bit of money. But again, they provide 2 meals, and 1 meal is on you. That's whatever you choose to do. Now, that's day 1. So day 2 starts with, meditation and then your appointments. They provide breakfast. And then there's a tour, not so much a tour, but an excursion that you go out and, go out to the store if you need anything that you didn't bring. Let's just say that you are a light packer and, you may need something from the store. So you have that opportunity to go to the store. That day we went out, the first day we went to a restaurant. Oh, let me back up. So again, day 1 is your medical appointments. I had 4 appointments that day. It was general med. It is, just basic, like your everyday doctor visit, things of that nature. And then, for me, again, this is me. I had physical therapy, chiropractic, and therapeutic massage. So again, I have back and knee issues. I saw physical therapy for that. Again, my hand is not in I don't have a disability for my hand. However, my hand got treated. So again, shout out to them for even just doing that. They saw that I had a splint on that I got from therapy here. I told them what was included in my therapy, and they gave their input on that. I told them what was going on as far as what I get for my back and my knees. We talked about that. And then after that, I went off to, let me back up a little bit. So if you are familiar with the veterans healthcare here, and whatever experience that you have with your doctors, let's say you see civilian doctors, whatever the case may be, they let you know up front that be flexible with your appointments, because whatever time that you need with the provider that you're seeing, that is the time that you need with the provider that you're seeing. They're not going to rush you out of there. They're not going to short you. Whatever time that you need with the provider, they are going to provide. So that is a great thing that I can appreciate myself. And I think I can speak for the other veterans that were on the tour with me, that they appreciate it because they gave you that time that you needed. It wasn't like, I'm going to go in here, this doctor is going to ask me a few questions, I'm going to answer a few questions, they're going to slap me off and say, all right, next. No, take your time. do everything that you need to do, get the full benefit of this tour and every benefit with each provider that you are seeing. So my next appointment was with the chiropractor. Now, I have seen a chiropractor before from a car accident several years ago. I got rear-ended on I-95. I know this is on like off topic. However, I just want to preface this before I move further with my experience with the chiropractor there. So I was on I-95. I was doing like 65, 70, and I got rear-ended on I-95. Go figure. The dude he dropped the cigarette trying to find a cigarette and rear-ended me on 95. Anyway, I saw a chiropractor a couple of times and blah, 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 whatever. Chiropractor here, sat down with him, talked to him. He looked at my stuff, talked about my knees, talked about my back. I told him what procedures and so on and so forth that I was getting for my back and my knees. Then he asked about my hand. He saw that I had the splint on my hand. He told me to stop wearing this splint because although the splint was to immobilize my thumb, he told me my thumb is not broken, so it really doesn't need to be immobilized. But anyway, that's off on a tangent. Anyway, I know I said anyway too many damn times, but don't judge me. So I did not know what to expect from this chiropractor, period, overall. And I say that to tell you to erase your mindset of the medical experiences that you have here. Again, I'm only speaking for me and not any other veteran that was on my tour. I'm speaking for me. But overall, I'm going to tell you, take your experiences with doctors that you experience here out of your mind when you go down there. That is essential. Very, very essential. So my hand was in pain when I saw this chiropractor. Now, this man grabbed my hand, and I'm going to say his name, Alexander Galvin, this physical therapy person, grabbed my hand. He stretched it, squeezed it, pulled it, and whatever. I heard a crick, crack, crunch, and whatever the case may be. And my hand was not hurting from after he did all of that. Now, I did have slight pain from what he was doing. However, the pain that I was experiencing initially was pretty much gone. He taped my hand up and again told me not to wear that splint anymore. Then he threw me on the table. I'm exaggerating. But he threw me on the table, told me to lay face down, and he did his thing on my back, crunch, 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 and this, that, and the other. Then I rolled over on my back and he did what he did, wrapped the towel around my neck, and I thought I was about to die because when he pulled the towel, I was like, ugh. But you know, again, I'm making light, but I'm also being descriptive of my experience with the chiropractor. Snatched me up with the towel, all that adjustment took place, and at that moment, my back, it was hurting from what he was doing, but the initial pain that I had from my back was considerably lower. Then he also did some work on my knees. Again, my knees were hurting from what he was doing, but the initial pain from my knees was down a lot lower. So that was definitely I was grateful for that. I'll just put it that way. Then after that, it was off to therapeutic massage. Now, I had not had a therapeutic massage at that in years. I will probably say damn, why did I say probably twice? Anyway, I'm going to say I haven't had a therapeutic massage in probably, I'm not even going to guess because I don't really remember. But Elizabeth Custodio. Now, this small framed young lady did not look threatening to me. She did not look threatening to any degree. Okay. What I mean by that is I was like, all right, I'm going to go in here, get a little nice massage, rub down, whatever the case may be. She's going to get me up, pat me on my butt, and then send me off on my way. That is not what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to me when I tell you. Listen to me when I tell you. She had the I don't know, the aromatic thing going. And I looked at that thing and I took a picture of it and I ordered me on Amazon because it was dope. She had the music playing in the background and I was like, all right, cool. The vibe is cool. She stepped out. I got ready, laid on the table, threw the towel on me, and then she went to work. Now, let me tell you, the chiropractor already did a number on me and my body was a little sore from that. This little lady, this bless her existence. Bless her entire existence. She started working on me, kneading me, rubbing me, and doing all that she do. And her pretty little elbows was all in my back. And I was like, ow, damn, she's hurting my damn body. Next thing you know, I was snoring. And like I physically felt her, but mentally I was in a different plane. I was nowhere to be found. um I felt everywhere that like I was physically present, but mentally I was gone. And when I tell you I was gone, I was gone. Now I've had that experience with massages before. However, I had not had a massage in a while. So she did the front, I mean the back side of me from head to toe. I do remember while I was in that twilight zone, I remember her taking hot rocks and rubbing them on my back and down my back and my shoulders and everything. I clearly remember all of this. Um, and then in the middle of it somewhere, well, she did my feet as well. Um, Shout out to my homegirl, Lakeisha McGaney. She does feet. So I'll give her a shout out somewhere in here. But so the massage therapist did my feet, rolled me over, did the front side of my body, and then somewhere in there, I hear "Good morning," and I opened my eyes, and I woke up like almost delirious and groggy, but like that, the massage was over. Um, so yeah, that's what happened there. And that was my day of appointments. So that my day of appointments ended probably around 3 something. Um and then let me see. All right, so yeah. So that ended at 3 something. So that day we had breakfast and lunch at the wellness center. And then we did the store thing. We left around 6 something. We went to Jumbo, and then after that we went to the restaurant La Cantina. Um, no knock on the wellness tour, but the service at the restaurant was just something to not enjoy. I'll put it like that. Um, like we were kind of like the first ones there, but it took like 2-3 hours for us to get our food. And, the service was horrible. Some people didn't know their food didn't come out cooked properly, whatever the case may be. So that was a whole different experience. So I'll just leave that in the whatever. So that night, so now here's the thing. Um, we got to the restaurant at 7 something and we were supposed to be done by 8:30. Again, we did not leave that restaurant to probably like 10:30, damn near 11 o'clock. So we missed DJ and karaoke that night. So that was, a blower. All right, so we go down to day 3, which was Thursday the 18th. A continuation of appointments. Um, of course, they had. Oh, so let me back up. So we had a wellness reset circle, men's therapy session. It was cool. It was Men's Day. Sit in a big circle, and the therapist just took us through a routine, which was very. I would say it was very refreshing. very moving, very thought-provoking, and bonding for the men. Then after that, we had lab work. So, you know what lab work is. Take your blood, send it off to the lab, and, you get your lab results whenever they get back. Breakfast was there. Then after that, back to appointments. So that day I had aqua therapy and orthopedic. Now, I had never done aqua therapy before in my life. So that was fun. Um, if you go to my YouTube channel, Soul Touch of the Poet, you'll find I'll be posting several videos of the trip. You may see some of the well, it's not going to be too many videos of the actual appointments because that's private in nature. Um, so whatever I can show you, I will show you, and we'll leave it at that. But I did aqua therapy, and then after that, I had an appointment with the orthopedic. Now, for me, I could not really go through everything with the orthopedic because my knees and my back were limiting me from whatever the orthopedic had to do. So there's that. Now on that day, um, lunch was not provided. They actually had the shuttle take people out to lunch. I heard that the restaurant was great. I wish I would have went, but I was not. I was okay not going. So me and another veteran, we hopped in an Uber and went out to KFC. Um, Before I get further into that, um, I will let you know that Ubers down there are very cheap, very very cheap. Not like here, where it's it varies in price, but whatever. Uber's down there cheap, so you can definitely get around at low cost. So we went to KFC, and you'll probably see a video of KFC on my YouTube channel. But KFC down there was phenomenal. I will let you know that I do not eat KFC here in America. I just do not. It's disgusting to me. The chicken is always like hit or miss, soggy. The restaurants are typically dirty. The service is poor, and you get a sense of uncaring, and it overall sucks. But I will tell you, KFC was great. Matter of fact, I went to KFC with it was 3 or 4 of us that went to KFC, but the food was great. It was great. It was phenomenal. No complaints. I definitely recommend, if you don't speak Spanish, Google Translator or the Apple Translate app, whichever one that you choose to use. I tried to use the Apple Translate app with my AirPods Pro. Let me tell you, that was a horrible experience because it's supposed to translate while you're speaking to someone. Now, when you are in a foreign country and those people are speaking in their native tongue, you do not dictate how they speak to you, right? You just don't. They understand that you're American and you're struggling, you're trying, whatever the case may be. But when they speak, they speak. And that damn translate could not keep up with those Dominicans when they talk. They talk fast. So I love them. I love them to death. But that app, very horrible with that. It was catching like every third or fourth word. But anyway, we did that, and then we headed back to the wellness center, chilled out a little bit, and then there was one veteran, his wife, and the cousin of someone else who was there. They wanted to go out to the store, and they was asking around if anybody wanted to go. I was like, yeah, I'll go. So I went. I went with them just to accompany them out there. In the dangerous world of Punta Cana. Over exaggeration, but we went. Took our time around the store, chit chatted, saw some interesting sights out there. with the local Dominican, some of the local Dominican women. They had anyway. That's off track. Anyway, so we went to the store, had ice cream, talked, got to know each other a little bit, and then we headed back. So later on that night, so we did that. I don't remember what time we did that because that my appointments were over at 10:30 that day. So there was. Let me see. Did they have dinner that night? I think they provided dinner that night. Um, I think so. I think so. Don't quote me on that. So that brings us to Friday, December 19th, which is day 4. Again, oh no, not again. So the women had their wellness reset circle that day. And again, the reset circle is off to the side. So they're doing their thing like so you know that you can't hear what they're saying, but you can hear them. It was like a galvanizing moment for them. Like you can hear them over there. You can hear the breakthroughs and whatever the benefit was, you can clearly hear it over there. And as they were coming out, they were complimenting on how well it went and all the breakthroughs and people sharing stuff that they haven't shared before or haven't shared in a while. So I think that was very, very good that they had that experience. So there was breakfast, again, and then the continuation of medical appointments. For me that day, I had physical therapy, my physical therapy follow up, which is good. Again, I got retaped, did some physical therapy exercises, which were beneficial. Um, Again, my pain varied, but at this point, my pain was still low because of the chiropractor and the physical therapy the other day. So, and the aqua therapy, don't let me leave that out. Um, and then for the first time ever in my life, I had acupuncture. I did not know what the hell to expect from acupuncture, but I had acupuncture. It wasn't bad. I was a little nervous. Of course, at your appointment, they talk to you and all of that stuff. Now, let me tell you this: before going there, they provide you with several forms. And I don't even remember what all the forms were, but I know one of the forms were if you want to go on the real estate investment tour, if you wanted to do Chinese medicine, um, safety form, and another form that I don't remember right offhand. But yeah, I did acupuncture, and it wasn't bad actually. Up and down my back, then in my knees. That that also took away a lot of the pain. So I was very low on the pain meter as far as myself and my issues. So that went well. And then after that, I had another therapeutic massage. Same thing happened the first time I saw this little young lady. Went in there, got ready, hopped up on the table, admired the damn diffuser thing, and I took another picture because I had put it in my cart before, but I lost it. But so I took another picture of it, and I actually have one. It should be here today, tomorrow, whatever, whenever it's coming. Anyway, um, did that therapeutic massage. Felt like I was walking on air again. Same thing. She went down my back. I felt the hot rocks, and I was in a different galaxy. Wherever the hell I was not in that room mentally. Physically, I was there. Again, rolled me over. Same thing. Just did what she did, and that was it. So after that, at around 5 o'clock, we did a beach getaway. Now let me back up. Now, me and a couple of other veterans, we tried to go to the beach to find a Punta Cana sign. Now, I know this is a little off on a tangent. I'm going to tell you what I do not like about Punta Cana. There are so many resorts in that area that I don't know why it's giving me a thumbs up and I'm putting my thumbs down. I'm wondering if y'all could see the explosion behind me when you're viewing this back. I'm curious about that when I edit this out. Anyway, I'm on the tangent again. What I don't like about Punta Cana is there are so many resort areas along the beach that you cannot get to the damn beach. Like, I want you to go on Google Maps and just look at Punta Cana and look at the beach. You'll see so much of the beach is occupied by gated communities, resorts, or whatever the hell you want to call them. I think that is so damn horrible. But what do you expect? Anyway, so let's get back to Friday. So we do a beach getaway. We go out on the beach. Of course, I have all my cameras and all this, that, and the other, and people are, low key judging me in a good way, not in a bad way, not in a bad way. They are judging me on all of my tech equipment that I'm carrying, this, that, and the other. We sit at a restaurant. We have dinner. The restaurant, the service at this restaurant was actually good. We did more bonding, more talking, getting to know each other, and this, that, and the other. We stayed out there for a little while, and then we headed back. And that was our dinner for that night. Moving on to Saturday. Saturday, no appointments on Saturday. There was breakfast in the morning, and then we left out for got stuck there. Left out for a catamaran excursion. That was fun. Excuse me. So we heading out there. The clouds are rolling in, and it starts raining. So I'm thinking to myself, and I'm sure others were thinking to themselves, like, oh, this is a wash. We are not about to get on this catamaran because of the rain. But the rain quickly disappeared, and that was that. You'll see videos of that on my YouTube channel, if you so choose. Well, go on my YouTube channel, Soul Toucha the Poet, SoulToucha, the Poet, and you'll see videos from this Punta Cana trip. Wellness tour. Okay, wellness tour. Let me correct that. But yeah, we did the catamaran excursion. They served food on there. We did snorkeling. We went to a natural pool. Yeah, and we did that that was very fun. A lot of the ladies, they did line dances on catamaran, and people took pictures, and all kind of stuff, all kind of fun. You'll see those videos on my YouTube channel. So yeah, so we did that. We headed back, got ourselves situated, showered up for the rest of the day, and then we went to a Taino gift shop. Now, I will say this is one of the funnest things that I experienced, only because I was able to smoke a damn cigar. Yes, that was the icing on the cake for me. The icing on the cake for me. So we get in there. Oh, let me back up, because we tasted fresh cocoa chocolate. That was an experience. So we had different parts of the cocoa plant, whatever the case may be. I don't know. Then we had chocolate coffee, chocolate tea, and I brought back me some I brought back some chocolate tea. So I'm definitely going to enjoy that. I'm going to enjoy on that. I am going to enjoy on that. Trust and believe I'm going to enjoy on that. Um, so again, gift shop. They had Mamajuana in there. I enjoyed the Mamajuana in there. Because the Mamajuana at the restaurant on the beach was just horrible. Um, and the one thing that I find interesting about Mamajuana, so last year I went to Puerto Plata, Sosua, Dominican Republic, and you get told one thing about how to make. Why is the thumbs up thing there again? I don't know. You get told one thing on how to make Mamajuana, and here they told us another thing. It's the same basic recipe, but this guy at the Taino gift shop said you make it with the cheap rum, and at the one in Puerto Plata, he told us to make it with a specific Dominican rum. Don't know which one is better. I'm just gonna make my mama wanted the way I've been making it, but they say 40% rum, 40% wine, and 20% honey. That is not what we were told in Puerto Plata. But anyway, you make your Mamajuana how you see fit. That's what I will say. So we left there, and from there, it was dinner at a restaurant of your choice. Now, we went to this restaurant called Herman 311. Um, Food was good. No complaints really on the food. The service was good. Uh, so yeah, I mean that was that. So a large group of us went and did that. That was cool. All right, so getting down to Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday are kind of laid back days. Now, with the excursions, you do not have to go on the excursions. You can do something else if you choose to, but several of us went. Well, pretty much all of us went on the Catamaran. But on Sunday was the investment opportunity at Legacy Beaches. Again, optional trip sponsored by Boardwalk Developments. And on the agenda, it says the visit to Michas is for those who are interested in exploring potential investment opportunities, as discussions during the trip will focus specifically on that topic. Free day if you are not going to Michas. So if you did not go to that, you had a whole free day to do whatever the hell you wanted to do. So that started with breakfast at 7 o'clock. We left out. Well, we had a safety briefing, and then we left out of there around 8:30. Got there about 10:30, whatever the case may be. Now, here is the thing with this. They had me on a goddamn horse. Now, those of you that know me know I do not like horses. I'm not terrified of horses. I just don't like them too much. They are amazing, amazing animals. They are beautiful animals. It's just me on a horse or, around a horse. I get yeah. Um, I'll just say dramatic. Let's just be real. I just get dramatic. Because I have an unrealistic fear of horses. I'll just put it that way. And it's not from any experience that I have. It's just like some people with spiders and cats and snakes, whatever. They have a genuine fear of them. Sometimes it's just a little unrealistic, especially if you have not had any bad experiences with those. If you had bad experience with them, understandable. But I've never had a bad experience with a horse. So I have an unrealistic fear of horses. There, we'll leave that at that. So that was great. So we take a cattle car up the mountain. We get a little discussion on, what's going on, how that's progressing, what that's going to look like, what the amenities are going to be, the lots that you can purchase, so on and so forth. Beautiful, 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 beautiful area. I cannot stress it enough. It's very peaceful. So what they were saying is, so it overlooks the Samana Bay, And they are saying they told us that that was a high tourist area because the whales, um, in the spring, I believe, they come and give birth to their young. So, you know, a lot of people go down there and for that moment, and I'm sure it's beautiful. I actually would love to go do that. But anyway, the guys out there gave us fresh coconut water, so I definitely enjoyed that. Um, well, not fresh coconut water, fresh coconuts. Well, of course, they have coconut water in them, but they gave us fresh coconuts, and we just had that whole experience there. It was just breathtaking. Actually, the view was great. Then, so we got on the horses, and they took us down the hill a little bit, and we hopped off the horses, and we walked a little further down to a waterfall area. It was like a little meditation like area thing that they had going on there, which was lovely. You can also go down to another part of it. It was I don't want to estimate the square footage of this area because I'm not a mathematician by any stretch of the imagination. But at one part of it, you can look out and you can see Samana Bay. You can see rice fields down, you know, in the valley and things like that. So that was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful view that I thoroughly enjoyed. And yeah, I totally loved that. So then from there, we went back up, got back on the horses, and went back to the initiating area where we started from. Took a break, water break, bathroom break, whatever the case may be. Hopped back on the horses, and then we went further up to where um, the large lots were going to be. Um, Let me look at this paper right quick of the layout. So yeah, the luxury lots. We went up to where the luxury lots were going to be, where the boutique hotel was going to be over, and you could overlook to where the bungalows and the glamming domes were going to be, and where the medium lots were going to be. So we did that. Again, the view is awesome. View is awesome. So we sat out there for a little while, and then from there we rolled out and went back down to the beginning area, and then we um, had a little powwow there, where they told us a little more about what's going on. People asked a lot of fabulous questions about, you know, how things are going to be laid out, and, you know, what the development process was going to look like, and the length of time and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, I definitely go. I cannot regurgitate the information back to you because it was so much and it was so long ago, and I did not take any type of notes. And I probably should have, probably, I don't know, maybe recorded it, but I didn't. I wasn't thinking about that because, yeah, I was having gear issues at that time, but I had enough gear that I could have recorded, but I didn't. So then we leave from there. Um, uh, yeah, that's when dinner was on our own. And I think that's when we went to Herman 311. That's when we went to Herman 311. I think. I think. I'm getting my days mixed up a little bit. But anyway, that was that. Then day 7, Monday came. We had sound healing therapy. It was a group thing. So if you want to participate in that, then we could. I've never done sound healing therapy before. So that was an experience in itself. Um, so yeah, that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. They say an hour of sound healing therapy is the equivalent of 8 hours of sleep. Um, I did feel refreshed after it, from that in general. I do know that when it was time to open our eyes, there were some people that were just in full fold up sleep mode, and and I found that funny. Um, So after that, there was breakfast, there was medical appointments. I had my final um, general med appointment where I got the results from my lab work. Pretty much all came out good. Um, the only thing that was addressed was what I get addressed with my regular doctor as far as losing weight, my pre-diabetes, and other things like that. Um, so then from there it was lunch. Now for lunch, me and another veteran, we went to Taco Bell. Now in America, we call Taco Bell Taco Hell. I don't know if everyone in America calls it that, but that's what I know that we call it that around here in Maryland. Went to Taco Bell. Now, matter of fact, let me back up a couple of days because this day. That's what happened. So Saturday after the Catamaran, we yeah, Saturday after the Catamaran, we went to the mall. That's the day I was missing. We went to the mall. And at the mall, um, yeah, that was after the Taino gift shop. We went to the mall. Now, at the mall, I had Pizza Hut. Now, I don't typically eat Pizza Hut. I probably have eaten Pizza Hut probably maybe once or twice this year in America, maybe twice, maybe three times is a stretch. However, I had Pizza Hut down there. The Pizza Hut down there was goddamn good. I will tell you, it was good because the it was not greasy at the bottom. It was fresh. It was delicious. Now let's jump back until Monday. All right, sorry for that. Um, so we conclusion of medical appointments. Lunch was provided. Uh, and then after that, we had closing ceremony, which, again, went around and we were asked questions about our experience. We gave feedback, our thoughts and this, that, and the other about the whole experience. I think I have a video on that I might share little clips from. Um, and then after that, dinner was on us. And I think that's when, what the hell did I do for dinner on Monday? I don't remember what I did for dinner on Monday. My bad. But I know I'm forgetting stuff because a couple of nights we played spades. Yeah, I'm forgetting stuff, but we're focusing mainly on the tour and whatever I throw in there that I remember, I'll throw in there. So that was that. And then Tuesday, final day, checkout, departure day. So breakfast was at 10. I got up, was finished packing my stuff. Of course, they have laundry out there if you need it. Typical like any other hotel. Whatever you need is, you know, based on whatever you need done. Checked out of the hotel, sat down there, talked, said our final goodbyes. Definitely made sure that you made connections with the people that you want to keep in touch with. We were informed that the WhatsApp group chat. So WhatsApp is the main form of communication for them giving you information down there. Um, make sure that you had your connections with the people that you want to stay in contact with. But again, the group chat is there for people to, stay in communication with each other. And then from there, we headed to not to the hotel, to the airport. Um, Now, the one thing about Punta Cana International Airport is that when you arrive, it looks one way, right? The arrival section looks one way. The departure section looks totally, totally different. I love that airport. It looks very good. So down there at the airport, I had Nathan's hot dogs. I was shocked to see a Nathan's there. Had Nathan's. That was good. Sat there, and so there were two people flying to BWI with me. Shout out to them, Tasha and Manima. Um, uh, yeah, so flight was delayed a little bit, but eventually got home and did that. But yeah, so overall, my experience with Veterans Care International at Flores Wellness Center was great. I highly recommend veterans to go check it out. I know there are other programs and places out there, but specifically this one, I highly recommend it. I think you should try it out. Experience what they provide, and if you do, let me know what you think of it. If you've been there already and would like to join me in discussing your experience there, hit me up. Let me know so we can chop it up so that you can get so that we can give people another perspective of this adventure. So that's all I have for you right now. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that you stayed for this full hour. I didn't think I was going to go an hour with this, but thanks for tuning in. Peace out there, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.